Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how you can create a car dash cam out of a Raspberry Pi Zero board and OEM Raspberry Pi camera. Now the setup costs kind of less than 200 rupees with the Raspberry Pi Zero board about 1000 rupees, memory card for 400 rupees and Pi cam for another 500 rupees. Yeah, so that's the total cost. Yeah. Now I've basically developed this whole kind of suite using Raspbian OS Lite version, Python 3, of course the Python camera module for Python, and to present the data, to present the recordings on web page, I've used Lite HTTPD web server with PHP CGI, and the default recordings, raw recordings, were kind of slightly choppy, so I am converting them to MP4 kind of files using X264 software. Yeah. So now directly jumping to the code part. So I'm sitting on my Raspberry Pi kind of board. So in this directory is the code and the configuration. So I've organized the code in external configuration where I'm from where I'm reading the parameters and then kind of using them in the code. So these parameters are basically the caption text that you want to overlay on your video, the recording path, the maximum space that you want to allocate for the recordings, that's in MBs. Yeah. Frame rate of recording per second, that is set to 25 frames per second. Region to set basically date time on the overlay, video overlay, and resolution, video recording resolution. Okay, height and width. Yeah. So now jumping to the code, using just Pi camera module here, then reading the parameters from the JSON here, and then kind of using them down below in the code. So there are a couple of functions here, basically to check the directory size of the recording, if that kind of is exceeding the limit or not. Yeah. And then again, I mean, there is a script, there is a function to kind of free up space. This function is taking list of files actually. Yeah. And then checking that, okay, if the kind of space is kind of exceeding the set limit, then it starts kind of deleting the files. Yeah. So in here, for example, it's just remove, then file name. Yeah. So here initializing the camera object, setting resolutions, frame rate, video stabilization. I mean, I was not using earlier, but it is kind of helping to some extent, but not to my satisfaction. Yeah. This is a boolean kind of parameter, set can be set true or false. Yeah, by default it's false, so I've set it to true. Then it's running in an infinite loop, first kind of looking for the current recordings sorted by kind of time, and then it's passing the files to the file list function, which is kind of then checking the kind of usage of the recording directory. If it's kind of exceeding the limit of 500 MB, then it starts deleting the files which are older actually, right, older files. Now by default, I mean, I'm kind of recording files on hourly basis, so the record duration is set to 3600 seconds. But there are chances that you may kind of turn on and off ignition multiple times in a given hour, so so basically not to ensure that you don't lose the recording, I'm using an increment logic to the naming of the files. So it checks for the file if it's existing or not. If it's existing, then it kind of increments the file basically with -1, right? And the file names are basically set on the basis of this pattern, cap, then here comes the value of kind of date time thing, and the extension 264 extension. Yeah. So and everything is going into syslog and on the screen also, right? Whenever there is a new file being created or older being deleted, you will see a syslog message. Now here I'm setting a timeout value of the recording. Basically this is the number of seconds elapsed from 1st January 1970 plus the recording duration, which is 3600. I've set it above. Right, now this is the timeout value, and then I'm starting the recording. If timeout value is well within the limit of kind of count of seconds, is less than the count of seconds now, it keeps on recording and keeps on annotating the text. Basically this keeps changing the timestamp on timestamp overlay on the video. Here's just the font size which is being set for the overlay text, and if time has elapsed the timeout thing, then it just stops recording and goes further again in the loop to create another file. Okay, and then it just keeps on going in loop forever. Yeah, now to ensure that the script actually starts at the boot up, I've also added a service unit which is starting up the script at the boot time. So let me just show you that part as well. System so this is running as user Manish, and then this is the command to launch the code. So this enables you to kind of start, stop, check status, things like that you want to do with the code. Yeah, and to present everything on a web page, I've used a very basic PHP code which I found on internet. So this PHP code is basically just looking for the recordings in this directory. This directory is basically a symbolic link to the actual recordings directory. So this up to this point was my document root. I just kind of added a symbolic link by the name recordings here to my original recordings path. Yeah, and then it's checking for the kind of file types of these extensions, and then creating a hyperlink for these files on the web page. Yeah, so that's and how it looks like on web pages. This, let me just show you by zam.home. So you got the listing of the files. So I just took out the dashcam for a while. Out. So let me just show you the recording here. One sample recording. So if I open it on a network stream, it's going to be slightly choppy, and there would be lag because this is coming over the LAN. So transfers may not be at their best. Yeah, but if I download this file on my local laptop, okay, I've already done it here, this video. Even then you will see it's slightly choppy. It may not be there might not be lag, but the video remains kind of choppy. Let me just play this for you. So you can see that there is slightly see the scooter just moved, and there was kind of like some frames that were missed. Yeah, so to ensure that this does not happen, I have converted this to MP4 file, and MP4 recording are not having that choppy behavior, but video stabilization is again something which is not at its best. So as you can see that now there's a continuity in the scooter movement, but video stabilization is still kind of not at its best. So this is something probably I need to look. Another thing is that this text overlay should have some kind of a background color, which I'll add it later. Yeah, so that's pretty much in this video. I hope you find it useful, and this is how you convert basically your H264 to MP4 files. Yeah, okay, thanks a lot for watching. Bye.